Okay, there's one last thing that we can do with our coin that's in the game, and that's we can add a particle, a bling to it. Now particles are pretty cool. Particles are what really makes a game. It can be a fire, it can be smoke from a fire, it could be waterfall, it could be the splash of the waterfall hitting another source of water. It can be an explosion when something is hit. It can be so many things that it really adds to the game. It also adds to the file size, so you want to think about that as well. But to cover it, to bring it into your game, I thought, well, why don't we just make a bling to our coin? And that way, if you use a pickup other than a coin, you could add a different particle effect to it. We're going to add our particle effect to the prefab coin just to make sure that it is on the original prefab that we may or may not drag. We might just make copies of the coins that's there. I don't know. But you will select in your prefabs folder the coin. You can go up to your game object and select particle system, or you can add the prefab by the add component. Add component, effects, and you want a particle system. So we're going to just go ahead and do that. And what happens in the scene view is you get these little icons, and those icons mean, hey, guess what? There's a particle to this. So if you were to select that coin, it would say, oh, there's a particle happening. So you can see that we're working in the prefab here, but it's actually updating in the coin that's in our scene. And you can see that is not a bling effect. So you have to work with what is provided to you within the particle system. And you have all kinds of stuff to choose from here. All these little areas can be checked or unchecked. Things can be changed, and all is good in the world. So the duration is how long does that particle last? Well, if you're going to have a bling, it's not that long. So five seconds is kind of a long time. So we're going to make this a half a second. And we're going to let it loop. And we're going to come down and maybe change the color of that bling. You can change it to whatever you want. I'm just going to throw something in here so you can see it. And we'll do a little blue there. And what else are we going to do? We are going to let the emissions happen. Let me click on that to open it. And the emission time, let's just do a rate of 1. And what that means, the rate, is how many particles are going to happen whenever it is called upon. Right now it's set at 10. That means every time that we come around to this particle release, it's going to release 10 particles at once. So that's a lot. So I'm just going to throw 1 in. You can try changing these numbers at any time. So you know, it's all up to you. So what else do we have? We have the shape. The shape is pretty important. That is how did the particles get released? Right now it's at a cone, which means if you had one of those ice cream cones that looked kind of like an upside down dunce cap, that's what it's talking about. So in the drop down you can select all kinds of different things for your particle release shape. I'm just going to go with the sphere. It seems to work. Radius, I don't want it to bling 1 meter away from the object. I want to be kind of within that object. So I'm going to click 25 there. And you can go down to the colors and change the colors over a lifetime and all kinds of stuff. You just keep going, keep going. You can actually select your particle and see what's happening as you work with it. That's a pretty big thing going on right there. I think I messed up on a number, But you can do that, but you go back and you just keep working and working with the particles until you have what you want. So I've played around with the numbers and added the particle to the coin. So if we come over and select the coin, we're going to see just a slight little bling come out of the coin. You can see them kind of coming out around the edges there. And that's good enough for now. And it's just that nice little subtle thing, so maybe while we're running and searching for our coins in the game, we'll see the bling.